What was the plan for Dawn? How do you feel you guys did against her?
The plan was to pick her up at half court, no deeper than half court, and guard her with high hands. From that point forward, off of all the ball screens, we really tried to show and arc the dribble so our defender could get underneath, which was D-Rob most of the night, could get underneath and meet her. I thought our big guys did a really nice job of not letting her come off ball screens and get threes. The other part, I think that makes her so dangerous, she's excellent at rejecting the ball screen. You get the show up and then she'll use her quickness and cross over and go back the other way. So that part of it, Danielle and Vegas and Jazz, all who guarded her, did a really nice job of not allowing her to reject the screen. And then our post defenders did a great job of showing. I thought it was pretty effective. We kept pushing her inside the arc, and we had decided ahead of time, you have to give her something. And of the three, getting to the rim, shooting a three, or hitting a mid-range jumper, the mid-range jumper is the one we decided she could have. And she hit several of those. She's 0 of 11 from three. I don't think she got many good looks, though.
Sure, it looks like you guys have made a concerted effort to speed it up a little bit, especially this week. Talk about that, and I mean, Miami plays that way next. Is this going to be something constant? Is it a James Madison thing? Or?
Well, I just think we are better. You know, when you get to the NCAA tournament, part of it's game plan and part of it's remembering how you got here. And you have to balance those two real effectively. We are better when we run. You know, that second half swoon that we had, I'll take that, give that one to me. We were going along and taking some early shots and missing, and I slowed us down. And we got panicky. We thought about everything too much. We're much better when we're just going. And so that's a part of our identity, and it's what we'll try to do. If we take that away, then I'm not sure we know who we are. So we have to continue to do that, even though that is what Miami hangs their hat on, certainly.
When Danielle was struggling earlier, just talk a little bit about Aaron Whitney's ability to knock down shots in the first half and really keep you in there.
Yeah, Whit's our rudder. She really is. She just calms the sea and directs us, and she hit some, you know, the thing I think about Whit, and I'll finish that thought in a second, I'm interrupting myself, that's hard to do. The thing about Whit is she's not physically able to do the things she's been able to do in the past before the knee injury. But she's found different and rather unique ways to score, and it's not always real pretty. She and I made eye contact after one of her shots tonight, and we both just started laughing. And she just, you know, kind of fumbled and bumbled and fell and made a layup in traffic, which is, I don't think would have defined her freshman year at Oklahoma. And so this is going to be a real positive thing that she figures out. She will get well. The knee will get better, and she'll have a nice array of weapons as a result of that. But I really think, you know, Vegas scores. Don't get me wrong, she scores, and that's great. But Whit is our rudder. She is where if D-Rob has to come off the floor, Whit has to be on the floor.
She looked a little more comfortable today. Do you think any reason why? I asked her a week off. She goes, no, Sherri, because she started in practice, so that can't be it.
Did she call me Sherri?
No.
I'm just teasing. Couldn't resist, inside joke. You know, Whit practiced more this week than she has all year. And it wasn't like a decision. And all year, you know, Carolyn Lynn, our trainer, would come up and say, what's on the practice plan today? Maybe she can do this, maybe she can do that. And some days after games, I would say, I don't even want her to put her game shoes on. She's on the side. She played 38 minutes last night. We need her day after tomorrow. Nothing today. That happened the entire conference season, January and February. This week, nobody said a thing. Maybe Carolyn and Whitney had a conversation. I didn't have any conversations. We had the toughest stretch of practice we've had all year. And 2 days into it, I looked at my assistant coaches and said, Whitney's going every single possession. Okay. And we just let her go. You know, and I'm sure she's thinking, you know what, it's the NCAA tournament. I got to be ready to play. And I think it's, you know, the knee may suffer from it, I mean, in terms of pain and that sort of thing, but Whitney knows she has to be at her best right now. She wasn't going to miss a rep. So maybe that has something to do with her comfort level there. I do know she's a player that's defined by her work ethic. You know, she needs to work. That's where she gets her confidence.
Hey.
How much did what you guys have been able to do in the tournament the last 2 years maybe help you when they got so close to it?
Well, obviously, I think we feed off of that. We've sure talked about it a lot in the last week and trying to convince those younger guys that it's a fine line. It's interesting because like Whitney and Jasmine are sophomores, or Jazz a junior, Whitney's sophomore by eligibility, but a junior by grade. They've been here 2 years, and all they've done is go to the Final Four. And there's a tendency sometimes to think, well, this is just easy, this is just what you do. And yet there's Danielle Robinson in the room who was on a very, very talented team, she and Carly, who didn't get to the Final Four. And they can quickly tell the group, you know what, this is hard. That's a hard thing to do. And so there's a nice balance there for our young guys who come in, you know, on the heels of, those freshmen come in on the heels of back-to-back Final Fours and, you know, woo, this is what we do. And at the end of the game, you know, we're telling them, you have to go get it. It doesn't just get handed to you. So I think we have a nice mix of that experience, but for those freshmen, they just have to go through it. They just do. We try to build off that, you know, momentum from the past as much as we can, but at the end of the day, they just have to go through it, possession for possession.
Talk about your inside game specifically, Joanna. She scored about as many points today as she has since she got role reversal with Nicole. She came up big for you today.
Yeah, the 15 rebounds is the part I liked. We just need production from that position, and she getting a double-double off the bench is pretty significant. I thought Nicole was doing well, and she got popped in the nose and never could really get back in sync, really. But Joe made the little, I don't know, 10-foot jump shot down there, and I thought, okay, she just looked like she felt more comfortable. And she's been very good at practice this week, too. You could kind of see her digging her way out of that hole she put herself in, just mentally. She just tries too hard and presses, and you saw that in the end of the game a little bit. But then she came back and made good plays and smart decisions down the stretch, free throws.
You talked about the progress you made in practice, and I think you said is the best, or at least maybe single day of practice you had all season on Thursday. It seemed like as seamlessly as you can, take what's happening in practice, put it in a game that happened for about 25 minutes today. Do you feel that way?
You know, actually, I felt like there was a little period of time in the second half, maybe about a 4 to 5 minute segment, where we were as good as we've been all year in every facet. It was running the floor. It wasn't just making baskets. It was executing with efficiency and spacing, moving off penetration, defensive movement together, guarding ball screens, not making any slips defensively. We just had a 4 or 5 minute period there where it was, okay, here we go. And then give Coach Brooks credit. He rolled the dice and threw the press, and it shocked us a little bit. Made a couple of mistakes, and then got panicky, and then I stepped in and slowed them down and made them panic even more. And we're just fortunate we had enough tough guys, enough experienced guys down the stretch to go make plays and finish it.
Are there any more questions for Coach Coale?